have no idea how timely this is right now. I was just telling Jackie, Lori, that I just got hit with news that even as I was clicking out with Jackie, I was quite just rattled, and I was like, I gotta gain my footing for a second. And she's like, I got this shirt, and then here you pop on. I got this shirt. And I'm like, leading up to today, yesterday, throughout the day, I'm like, oh yeah, tomorrow I got. And just thinking about our time together, I was already giggling to myself, like, this is gonna be so much fun. I don't even know. I didn't even prepare because these are one of those. There's no preparing needed. It's like this is just good. Sometimes you just have to have some girlfriend conversations where it's just fun.
I almost
So
canceled.
Lori had,
I almost canceled about 5 minutes ago because my tummy is upset today. And I was like, no, even if we just go and chat and we don't record anything, let's just have some girl time, like you just said.
Yep.
So
well,
Yeah.
so Lori had come up with some questions, and so she asked me to come up with questions, and then I did, and so she responded with, "Oh, we're going with sarcasm."
full sarcasm.
So
Yeah.
I said, "If you have to ask that, we're
Yeah.
you're testing our friendship, asking for a friend."
Right. Right. Well, just so you know, we're already recording. So I hit the
Fantastic.
record button
I saw
knowing
that.
that some of the best stuff happens before you hit the record button. So you got to,
Yeah.
do you know, I was saying this to somebody else I was recording with. Okay, I got to hit the record because there was one time I went through a whole episode with my husband on our marriage podcast. Went through this whole episode. We get towards the end, 50 minutes like in, and he's like, "Did you hit the record button?" I was like, I thought you hit the record button. He's like, I thought you, and we were just kind of staring at each other like, that just happened. And you know, for me, I feel like if it doesn't happen real time, you can't just go back and recreate that in the moment kind of stuff. So I'm like, oh, it was so good. So now I just hit record like before people come on usually, so I don't forget.
There you go.
So
Well,
that
Lori and I understand that very
yes,
well.
that recently happened at an event at the convention center, and it was not something that can be recreated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, today, for those of you joining in, welcome. This is the Grit and Grace podcast, and I'm here with two of some of my favorite new friends. I feel like I've known you guys forever, and so I'm super excited to do this one. And we sat in coffee, and I don't know, I feel like over a few conversations, we were like, we got to do more. Actually, Lori, you're the one who's like, oh, I got another idea. I was like, tell me more. And then in our group text, it was like, oh, what about this? And then what about that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. So which one of that list, I'm assuming we're going to do one today about asking for a friend. Because as the rest of you could see, I was left out. So
the t-shirt conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
What are we doing today?
Well, I think we should talk about why we're doing this topic to start with.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Why are we doing this, Lori? While I
Jackie,
drink my coffee.
fire away.
Well, let me just say this. In our group text, I was hit with it. I have an idea, asking for a friend. I'm like, tell me more. And then you guys left me like unread and nobody answered me for a long time. I'm like, my mind went everywhere. I'm like, what? This is either going to be really good or I might be afraid. With the two of you, this could get kind of, we could be in trouble. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. So a few years ago, a friend of mine was posting on Facebook little shorts, and we had lunch, and I said, you should do a podcast called Asking for a Friend, because some of their stuff is hilarious. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. Never happened. It's been a couple years now. And so I was sharing with Lori. So often something will happen and we'll text each other, said a question, and asking for a friend. In fact, recently we saw a mutual friend post on Facebook something, and he hashtag asking for a friend, and we're like, no. Not yet.
That we're gonna copyright this term.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good.
So
yeah, so
we've been playing around it for a while.
Yeah.
So
and it's mostly sarcastic.
No, with you two?
Never.
Exactly.
If it's not tears, it's laughter. Like there's no in between. I think it's never really boring.
No,
that's right.
Never. I mean, I do have a message from Lori from Elliot. She forgot his birthday on his birthday.
Oh, you're calling me
So
out.
he's heartbroken, and so he wants to know what kind of reparations will be made, asking for a friend.
It's gonna. Does Elliot go, Mom, asking for a friend? Do your friends forget your birthday too?
No,
Your friends forgot my birthday. How did you do that, Lori?
How did I forget? I
Yeah.
probably fell asleep before Jackie even put the post up on Facebook that it was Elliot's birthday. And so I saw it the next morning, and that's when I commented.
yeah. She's only getting a hard time because when she did post happy birthday, it was from his favorite.
His favorite aunt.
Yes, his
Yes.
favorite. So I'm like, Elliot, if she's your favorite,
Wow.
She should have remembered. Yeah.
she should have remembered. So
Wow.
it was on the 4th, is what now, the 8th, and I've mentioned it every day
Every
since
day
we've
since.
talked.
She doesn't let me forget.
Nope.
Well, happy birthday to Elliot. So, yeah, I don't think I knew that. And you know what? I have been off social media for the most part. Here and there, I get on when somebody comments on something for me, but I have it off my phone and everything. So did I even comment on that? I don't think I knew it was even his birthday.
I don't remember.
Did you have a birthday party?
I might have forgotten. No, I did not forget. I went to dinner with a friend at a friend's house. So, but he got compensated well.
Okay. So you made up for it.
Mm-hmm. Today I'm going to have a tickle in my throat
Uh-oh.
and
We're-
cough away.
We're doing great today, aren't we?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Day in the life of midlife women.
That's right.
The air
And
conditioning is
in the
gonna
middle of
kill me.
allergy season.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We got that in our house too. But do you have your essential oils going in every room because of it?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Mine's at home.
Yeah.
It'll actually, I have one in the car that I brought, so I'll set it up later today.
Oh, there you go.
It's a penguin.
Yeah. So now, do you have, if we're going to do asking for a friend, are we asking for a friend questions?
Lori, you have the list.
We each have some. Yeah. So
Wait a minute. See, okay, time out. You really didn't include me. You both have shirts. I don't have a shirt. I didn't even know we were dressing up for this. And I wasn't told to get questions. You guys didn't fill me in on this.
No, we didn't.
This seems like
was
sabotage.
Lori.
All right.
It might be.
Okay, let's do it. What are we doing?
Jackie, should I pick one of yours or one of mine?
Pick one of mine.
Pick one of yours. Okay. Hold on. I'm looking at my phone. Asking for a friend. If you say, let's circle back, are you actually planning to or just setting it free into the wild?
Am I going first?
And I would add to that, or is this just an avoidance tactic?
I was going to say, this is totally like not talking about it right now. Let's just.
I don't have the bandwidth.
We'll come back another time.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
You know what's worse? I'm guilty of sometimes when I don't want to meet with somebody and they gave me like, hey, we need to get together. I'm like, oh, I'm busy that day. I haven't told you what day it is yet. But that day, I'm busy.
I'm busy. Whatever day it is, I'm busy.
Whatever day it is.
Make a note of that just in case I hear that out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes.
Not chamber people, just people in general.
Yeah, no, that would
one
be.
of them is a chamber person, but a different chamber.
Oh, now all the other chamber people who hear this are going to think, is that me? Is that you?
I mean, asking for a friend.
Yeah.
That would be a total avoidance for me.
That's my avoidance tactic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me check my commitments.
Yeah. We'll circle back to that later.
Circle back.
Circle back. Okay.
Do people ever come back? I don't get people that come back and go, hey, we're supposed to circle back.
I do.
Do you?
I do. Yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's because you're really organized. Not that Jackie's not organized, but you kind of are like really organized. It seems. Like the minute we set an appointment, you got the invite. I click off and the invite's already there. It's like, wow, she already sent it in. Like you are on it. So you probably logged circle back with so-and-so on this.
I do that actually. I set calendar appointments for
so
myself to circle back with people that I want to circle back with.
Yeah.
See the second half of that question answer. Want to circle back
want
with.
to circle back with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, mine would be total avoidance. I would only circle back to the things that if somebody said that to me and it was something I really want to talk about, I'd be like, hey, you said we were going to circle back.
Because it's a priority for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this going
Yep.
the way you hoped it would go, Jackie?
I mean, either. Let's hear one of your questions.
One of my questions.
Hers were really nice. I was a little more rogue.
I like that.
So, asking for a friend, Jackie, are you a hugging person or no?
I should have worn my other shirt. Well, it depends. If we have a relationship and we're friends, yes, I will. I'm a hugging person. When you just like Velcro yourself to me when I don't expect it, not so much. When I've asked you not to touch me, you touch me anyway, kind of have a problem with that.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Same.
And I have a hoodie that was gifted to me that says, I don't actually remember what it says. Just to say, Lori.
I don't remember. But I bought one for myself too.
Yeah. She has a black one, I have a red one.
I think you guys wore that when we met the last time.
No, I've never worn. I haven't worn mine out in
yeah.
public yet.
You
I
haven't?
worn mine out.
Or maybe you showed it to me.
I think we showed it to you.
'Cause
Actually, I took a picture and posted it.
Yeah, Jackie posted it on Facebook.
But I bought a shirt. I sent it to Lori and I bought one for myself. That says free hugs. Just kidding, don't touch me.
Uh-huh. You can tell the non-huggers because they kind of stand off. I'm a total hugger. To me, I'm like, what I don't like, I'd rather you shake my hand than that little, like none of the body wants to touch and they kind of pat you on the back like that real gently. Then you're like
the
that
cardboard
feels
hug.
icky.
Yeah. Yeah.
That almost feels violating. It's like you're just fake hugging me. You don't really mean it. I'd rather you just be like, don't hug.
Two things with you. One, you ask, are you a hugger? And two, you respect boundaries. Not everybody does. So that's appreciated.
Yeah, I can't say I always remember. Sometimes I just go in for the hug. I feel like I grew up culturally like family culture, we just hugged. And so I hug. But
Gotcha.
when somebody
it's
fake
50-50.
hugs, I'd rather
Yeah, no
not want to
thanks.
hug somebody and they give me a bear
Correct.
hug than have that little. It's so awkward.
You know what I don't
Or
like?
that like little side hug where
The
you're
little
like,
side hug. I do side hugs a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
well, but side hugs are okay if you're like, you go in for like it's still like kind of a bear hug squeeze.
No, it's the
Of the shoulder.
Little,
yeah.
It's like awkward middle school. You know? Hi. It's weird.
You know what's worse though? Worse than that is the noodle handshake. I hate that.
Oh, like
When
just
people
the
go shake your
fingertips?
hand, either that or they're just like limp and you're like, why? Just knuckles or wave or nothing. It's better.
Or it's super dainty.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially men. When men have dainty handshakes, I just can't.
Yeah. No respect.
No.
Going back to the hug thing, 2 weeks ago, Jackie and I were somewhere together, and I asked, I ran into a friend, and I knew she was okay with hugs, and I was like, hey, can I get a hug? I still asked, even though I knew she was okay with hugs. And after I hugged her, Jackie goes, I've been friends with Lori for 10 years, and I've received one hug from her.
3, actually.
Actually,
but who's counting?
Yeah.
Jackie is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
I typically I am typically not a hugger unless it's with really good friends. And there's maybe one person that I see every week at church that I will always stand up for and give her a hug. And because that's just okay with us. But then there's other people that I see 3 or 4 times a week that I do not want to hug from. It's just I don't know. It's just a personal boundary thing. So yeah. Asking and respecting the boundaries that are set are important.
Yeah. Well, and I'll hug people that I meet for the first time, I feel like. People are probably like, well, shoot, does Dana always hug you too? Because that's weird. But to me, it's again, I don't know, it feels like just a, hey, how's it, great meeting or whatever. I think it was Jackie Roche when I first met her. I went to the first, I think I went to the Ag Fest or whatever that thing's called, that meeting, the big
Uh-huh.
one.
The big,
It's like the second or third time I met her, and it was just like, oh, hey. And I gave her a hug, and she hugged me back. It wasn't like odd or anything, but after I
no,
hugged her, I
she's
was
a
like,
hugger. Yeah.
I never even asked her, but thank God she didn't go. Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Mhm.
Also, showers are important if you're going to be a hugger.
What
I'm
is
just saying.
shower?
Showers. Yeah,
Yes.
that's like a,
Valid.
yeah, please
That's
shower.
valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get a gift from me.
What's the gift?
Deodorant.
Oh. Well, I haven't got one of those from you, so this is good.
No. Yeah, it's
I do
good. Yeah,
shower.
That's important.
Yeah.
that's important. Yeah,
Mhm.
me too.
Mhm.
And speaking of showers, if you ever need a shower,
We could go to
when-
Lori's.
I was just going to say, yeah, can
Just
totally
bring
go
your
to
own
Lori's.
towel.
And soap.
And so,
Mhm.
but now would you share a bar if you're soap, if you
No.
used a bar
No.
soap?
No.
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 You
No.
didn't finish
Boundaries,
asking the
no.
question.
No.
There is no
No.
sharing of a bar of soap.
No.
And it's
Ever.
just,
Mm-mm.
like the wet bar soap. It's just, and then
Gross.
somebody else uses it. You're like,
No.
No.
that's why I love
The
Body
foaming
wash?
hand,
Body-
the foaming hand
Yeah.
pump body wash. Yes.
Yeah.
because you don't have to share.
And it's sanitary.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I have a bar of soap and the wash as well, but the bars after I shower, I actually wash it. I wash the
Yeah,
bar of
rinse
soap.
it, kind of rinse it off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
good.
But no, I won't. I will not share.
So what do you do if you have to like run into somebody's shower? Like, okay, I have to take a shower at your house. It's like this wasn't really planned, and then you see, like you need to shower, but then you see the bar of soap. What do you do?
No. No. I have to have shampoo with a pump.
That's what I
I'm using.
do. But okay, so we all have glasses. I never
Yeah.
had to wear glasses my whole life till I was 45, and then it was like worse and worse and worse. And now it's like we went on a cruise. I don't know. We're going back probably 5, 6 years ago. My eyes got so bad. Like I have to make sure I know where the shampoo and the conditioner are because if not, I'm like, I bring it up to here and I'm like, I can't tell which one that is. And it was stuck on the wall on the cruise. And for the life of me, the soap wasn't so soapy. I'm like, I don't know. I stood in the shower for minutes going, which one is which? So I just put both in there. And it was like, all right, well, I hope that's going to work. Because I
Sure.
can't tell. Isn't that the worst? Do you guys have to
Yes.
do that?
Worse.
Not in my own
No.
home.
No.
Well,
yeah,
not in your own
in my
home. But like if you go somewhere.
Oh yeah, at a hotel I've had to do that. Like, okay, before I take off the glasses, which one is the shampoo?
Yeah.
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 Yes, I had to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although usually I'll bring my own because I don't like the hotel stuff.
Yeah. Similar.
So I'll bring. Yep.
Mhm.
Unless I've overpacked and then I have to leave something at home, it's going to be some of the toiletries. Yes.
Yep. I
Yeah.
used to, in fact, I roll of toilet paper, but I don't anymore.
You used to bring your own toilet paper too?
Yeah.
Is it like this special toilet paper?
Yeah.
Oh. What's so
No,
special?
it's just because some hotels that are like sandpaper.
Cheap. It's cheap. Yes.
And I'm
Oh.
like, no. You pay this much for a room and I got sandpaper? No, I'll bring my own.
Wow. I just learned something about you.
Yeah.
Toilet paper. Me too. Toilet paper doesn't weigh very much though, so it's easy to stick in a bag without.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, but
weighing
wait
too
a second.
much.
Okay, asking for a friend. What do you do? Are you one who takes all the free products they put on the counter, including the extra
No.
toilet paper?
No.
No.
Me either. My
I was going to
husband.
say, are you?
No, I'm like, what are we gonna do with all this stuff? Like my mom will bring it. I got all these free little bottles. Don't worry, we'll use them all up. And I'm like, no. And my husband used to take it too, and now he jokes with me. He'll be like, don't worry, I'll get all the free things and bring them home. I'm like, don't do it.
So I used to, when I worked for Babies R Us, I traveled, 40 weeks a year. And so I would. But the reason I would is because when I got home, I would put in little Ziploc bags and then give it away to some of the unsheltered.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
cool.
what I used it for a bit, but now I just don't because I'm usually overpacked, and that's just one other thing to carry.
Yep.
So no,
Every once in a while, I'll get one that's like really good or smells really good, and I'll take it, but that's probably once every 10 years. Yeah. All right, give us another question.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one of Jackie's. Asking for a friend, if you talk to yourself and then argue back, who's winning?
Both.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And
Elliot.
being a person who lives alone at home, I talk to myself all the time, literally. So
The plants
I'm
don't talk back to you.
no, the plants don't talk back to me. The hummingbirds sometimes will dive bomb me as I walk out the front door. But yeah, it's a good old circus in here, me talking to myself. So I'm always winning because no one's talking back to me.
No, it's
That's awesome.
unless she talks to me and then she doesn't win.
But when she hangs up the phone, then she's winning all the time because she talks.
You know what? Good point. She hangs up on me all the time.
See?
I do
And then it's
not.
like, oh, my battery. Or she'll come up with an excuse. I'm like, no, you hung up on me.
Mm-hmm. Well, she had to win an argument, so she had to hang up the phone to be able to.
Yeah, to reset. Yep, that's her reset button.
Well, you're
Or
the.
she'll say, oh, my earpods aren't working. Okay.
She's shaking her head no.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking to herself right now, so she's winning.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay, well, you're the one who has 100 tarantulas. Do they all talk back to you?
I downsized. I have 50, and no.
You downsized?
Yeah,
Where did they
I
go?
down. I rehomed him. I would get him from breeders, so I gave him back to some of the, especially the males.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. Although I still have my first one. His name is Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. That's my first one.
Wow. And you've had him how long?
5 years, 6 years.
How big is
They
he?
live to be palm of my hand.
That big?
Hmm?
Big and fuzzy?
I actually have another one. It's called a bird eater, and it's about twice as much size as that one.
Is that why it's called a bird ear? Because it's large enough to eat a bird? So
That
here's
is
my
correct.
question about Peter Parker. How big was he when you got him? Do they grow in size? I know nothing about
Yeah,
tarantulas. Okay.
yeah. It was probably the size of a eraser,
Oh,
the end of a pencil, the eraser.
oh wow.
Yeah, they take a lot of care. You have to be because they die super easy when they're that young. So, in fact, we were talking about it yesterday. I had Green Chair Chronicles yesterday, and we talked about one is if you had a warning label, what would it say? And Barb said that hers would be I'm a hugger, and then shared that she was walking down the street and hugged a stranger. Like that's too much. But Jackie from KSLM, she has a tarantula that I gave her, and when if she first saw it, she's like, too little. So I had to raise it a little longer, and then I gave it to her when it was a little bigger.
So your Peter Parker is the size of your hand, the palm of your hand or your hand?
My hand.
Full hand.
And so you have another one that's even bigger than that?
Yeah.
I don't even know
His
what
name
to.
is Worf.
Worf?
Worf?
Yeah, Star
What?
Trek.
Oh,
Klingon.
that's
I've
huge.
I've
Yeah.
seen the collection, and I'm not. I think it surprised Jackie that I wasn't wigged out by the collection of
Oh
tarantulas.
no. Jason Conrad was picking up the one that he asked me for, and so she's like, "Can I come look?" And then she's walking in the house. She's like, "I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid." I don't know if you realize you were saying it out loud, but I'm like, "Oh boy, don't pass out."
I'm not afraid of spiders. I'm afraid if they're going to bite me, but the yours were all contained in their homes, and
Yeah.
I really wasn't afraid.
It's funny. So
I
I
could tell
have.
by
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I could tell by the sound of her voice.
Yeah. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I have 5 kids. My number 2 and 3 are boys. And when we lived in Tigard for a while, and we sold our house and we just rented for a little bit before we moved out here and to Salem. And so this house that we rented while my two middle kids finished high school, had a basement. It was older. It was an older home. And so once we moved in, it's like all the little critters in the walls or whatever must have come alive because people were moving in. And my boys got the basement. And it was like one of those old, like 1950s homes. It was like the old time basements. And literally my boys are just about 6 feet tall, right at 6 feet. And they would be like screaming like little girls because there were these spiders down in the basement. And none of us like bugs. So it was just like, but they would scream just as loud as my girls, like, come kill this bug, come get this spider. And yet my son, my oldest son, he's now 32. He lives in Costa Rica, and his girlfriend, like, she likes all the creepy creatures, like, and she's fascinating because she's like this, she gets like a little girl, and yet she's like this cool kind of science teacher vibe where you're like, you make everything look kind of fun. And she'll hold these, like, they'll take pictures of these big spiders that are there and huge bugs that you're like, I told them, I don't know if I'm ever coming to visit, because if that is in my bed or room, we're out. And they just make it. Now my son, like, he's into the snakes and the bugs and everything. So she loves that kind of stuff. She would find all of what you have pretty fascinating.
And I have snakes too.
You have snakes too?
Uh-huh.
And then how big are those? Asking for a friend.
Asking for it. So I have the biggest one is probably 6 feet. It's a California king, so it's not. It's about
Not the mattress.
yeah,
California.
yeah.
Wow.
That's
Sorry.
the real name. And his name is Freeway because he looks like a road. He's dark with white on his back. So
Now, I'm curious, how many do you have?
4.
Yeah, so you have 4. And are they,
Yep.
do they all have different personalities?
Yeah. One tries to kill me every time I try to feed her. She's a California king. She's very petite. She's looks albino, and she'll do the whole cobra move, and I'm like, you're not even a cobra. You're not even like 3 feet long. Pretty small, but it will try to attack me when I try to feed her. So I put my hand on the other end of the enclosure and tap it, and then I throw in the food. I lost one
Speechless.
once.
Yeah,
You lost
because
her once.
I lost one once. Yeah.
Mhm.
His name was Hershey because he was brown.
but if an animal's going to attack, what makes you want her or see her as cute?
I mean, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures. She's absolutely beautiful, but she's mean. She tries to kill me. Literally tried to kill. Tries if she could find her way to get out and kill me, she probably would.
Wow.
Okay, so snakes freak me out. Spiders, not so much. Snakes, no thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I didn't tell Lori I had snakes when she came over.
So are you just learning this just now?
Yes. I think so. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
hid this from me all these years.
Well, I didn't hide it. She didn't ask me.
Yeah, so technically she's not lying.
Yeah,
Oh, my
exactly.
word.
So
Yeah,
I have
as a matter of fact, when she walked in, I thought, did I tell her I have snake? No, don't look right. Don't look right.
And are they just out in the open, or are they like in a room somewhere?
They're in the garage right now,
Oh, gotcha.
and they're enclosures.
So you're safe, Lori. You can go in the house
Yeah,
anytime.
you're safe.
So I had a turtle.
Sure.
It just passed away the last year and a half, 2 years ago. But we had a turtle for the last 20, almost 30 years.
Hmm.
Like 27 years. They are pretty cool. The reason why I asked is,
Yep.
do your snakes are they all different personalities? Is because my snake, my turtle, when we first got him, he was about like it's like maybe like a quarter. He was tiny. And my brother, so my sister-in-law, lived on her family owned a campground, and she found these turtles in the creek, and she gave one to my son and one to my daughter. And every winter one would get like the shell would get kind of soft, and then it would be okay and then every winter again it would get kind of soft, and then so that one died. This other one, which was my daughter's, kept living. And kids don't take care of pets. It became my turtle. And so I named it Garnett because Kevin Garnett's my favorite basketball player.
Oh,
He just
okay.
has this very slick, smooth head. I just like, it looks like Kevin Garnett. I'm gonna call it Garnett. Um, but I swear it did yoga on the rock. It had a personality. And I'm not like a turtle person. I just happen to get this now
Fall in love
animal.
with the turtle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They do.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Freeway's
cool.
actually pretty cool because I've had him since he was really tiny, probably about 12 inches long when I got him.
Wow.
So I've had him all his life, and I can put my hand in and like he'll come over and I can hold him and play with him.
Mm.
Not the other one. The other one sometimes I actually have to put gloves on when I have to clean the enclosure, and they're fragile too, so I have to grab it carefully and hold it. And she's pretty strong because she's bigger now. But yeah, I'm sure I'm on the menu any chance she gets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Give me another one, Lori.
Let's see.
Wait, before we, do you have any other pets or creatures that we should know about? It's like,
No, tarantulas, snakes, Elliot, Ivy May. Yeah, that's it.
fascinating.
I used to have a chameleon. His name was Karma. He was a
That's
rescue. I had him for a
awesome.
few years, and then he ended up dying. And then I had an African gray that I rescued, and his name was Sydney. Well, I thought it was a he, and then I had him for a few years. And one morning there was an egg in the cage. So
That's one thing I don't know, but I never knew about my turtle. I don't know if it was a boy or girl.
interesting, yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, my snakes, I don't know if they're boys or girls. You can sex them, but yeah.
Yeah.
I call them, except for the one that tries to kill me, I call them old boys.
Yeah.
She's a girl, though.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, Lori, give us another.
Well, let's see. See, my questions were more serious, and like Jackie said, hers were more sarcastic. So now I'm looking at my questions, and they look boring.
No, come on, give it to us.
Well, we've kind of hit on some of them. So I'll ask one that's kind of a twist on one of the ones I came up with was, introvert or extrovert, and are people shocked if they hear you're one or the other?
Nope.
Yes.
And I'm introvert. 100%.
Me
Are they
too.
shocked? No way.
And my answer is I'm an introvert, and 9 times out of 10, when I tell people that, they're like, "What? You don't come across as an introvert?" Correct, because I had to learn how to survive in a world of people.
Yep.
So I can, in fact, I ran into our friend Dina Beirudi in a grocery store, and we had this conversation in the aisle in front of the cottage cheese. And she's like, "This surprises me that you're an introvert." I'm like, "Okay, so here's the thing. I was raised as a preacher's kid,
Yep.
and I had to be with a lot of people a lot of the time during the week, and I was expected to even be an example and a leader for other people. So I learned some life skills at a young age to
Survive.
interact with people and survive this world I was born into. But when I get home, I just want to be home, and I turn on music and I turn off notifications half the time, and I recharge at home. So
Yeah.
in fact, I'm reading a book right now, How to Be an Introvert in an Extrovert World.
Who wrote that?
And
Because I've heard of it, and I think I've heard blips of
yeah,
people who have
and
talked
the
about it.
author is hilarious. She writes with her sense of humor. She's just hilarious. And I was like, I have been telling people these things from this book that was just written a couple years ago. I've been telling these people these things all of my life. I do enjoy people, but there's a difference between being shy and being an introvert.
Yeah.
And I've had this conversation with people too. There's a huge difference between Just because I will go introduce myself to a stranger doesn't make me an extrovert. It just means that I'm curious about the other person and I want to get to know them or have a conversation with them. But one of the things that I remind people about what an introvert does is, or extrovert, is where do you recharge? Do you recharge with people or do you recharge when you're by yourself? Like where does your energy come back to? So, and this book talks about that too. And again, I'm reading the book and I'm yelling out loud to myself in my house. See, I've been telling people this for years. I recharge in the quiet of my home or in the truck by myself going for a drive or sitting in the backyard by myself. That's where my energy gets recharged. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jackie, you
So
too?
yeah, I agree. For a long, I recharge at home. I prefer to be at home, but I see people that drain me as energy vampires. There are
Mm-hmm.
certain people like I'm around them and I'm like, oh, I just need to be home, away from you. You're talking to me. Find
With
other
you.
friends. Seriously, because some people, I don't mind helping people and interacting with people. Some people, but others are like literally energy vampires. They just that's how they recharge. Take your energy, and so I don't like that. But yeah, so Lori and I message you people all the time.
Ew, people.
And
Yeah.
I don't mind being around people and I like people in their own homes. So I can be in my own home. And then when people find out like I have tarantulas or snakes, they're like, "Oh, I'm not coming to visit." I'm like, "Well, that's good. I never invited you." So
Yeah.
that's good. That's a good side effect to have. But um, I don't mind people in small doses.
Yeah.
But when it's a constant, especially with the work I've had over the years, sometimes I have to be literally on stage 24/7. It's draining. It's absolutely draining. So, and it goes back to boundaries too. People that respect boundaries, I have issues with, but people that don't respect boundaries, those are my energy suckers. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't like to be around them.
But now,
And
do
when
you?
you have to explain why they are not respecting boundaries, it's even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I'm total introvert. I can only take people. I love people, and my favorite thing to do is this: just sit around, put me around tables. My favorite piece of furniture. Just grab our favorite drink and let's just chat. It's my favorite thing to do, probably. Besides just my own quiet time. That is how I like people the most, and love people. But I hit a limit, and when I hit the limit, I'm done. Like I'm out. My mom would you would even say, yeah. At some point, we just look around and be like, she went to bed. Like when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'll say that even to and my number 4 child, Danny, she'll be like, Mom, we have to spend the whole day together. And I'll be like, Danny, I've had enough. Like, too close. You're in my bubble and like enough. And she'll joke with me just because she knows the way I am. But I'll even say to my husband, I love you and all, but I need to refuel. I need to refresh because I've had my fill. And we've kind of got to this place in our own marriage where it's like, yeah, he takes nighttime, mine's the morning time. And I can't my mom's the opposite, where it's like, oh, like let's just be together. And it's like, I gotta get you at the right time because like I need my time to
Yes.
refuel. Because people now let me ask you, do you guys find here's where I also find that it's draining and it's not being with people, but even doing things that what's the word? That has to do with people. I feel the same way about social media. Do you guys feel that
Sometimes,
way?
yeah.
Where I'm like,
Hmm.
I just had enough people.
Yeah. So recently I changed my social media to public. It was private for a long time and it was strictly just friends and family.
Yeah,
And then because of my job, I've opened it. But yeah, I have limits. I
yeah,
don't. I'm on sometimes somebody will text me like, did you read that or did you see that? I'm like, hang on, let me go look. Because I'm not on it. I primarily post now just for events that we've done or promoting an event or whatever. But I don't do it as often, and also have to be careful what I post. I've had some memories come up and went, oh, yep, delete, delete that.
yeah.
Or sometimes a memory will come up and a friend will say, did you really post this? I'm like, oh, delete, nope, delete. So, um, but yeah, I social media can be, especially right now with election season and all that. People can get nasty, and my best friend, we politically were as opposite as you can ask for, but I respect that she's wrong and she respects that I'm right, and we're good.
Yep, my word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a social media manager. That's one of my jobs, and I've been on social media about the same amount, but for other people's businesses and to promote other people's businesses when I see someone say, "Hey, who knows a good landscaper?" And then I comment about the landscape company that I'm working for. But uh I've stepped back from my own, especially right now. I've stepped back from my own posting and spending as much time on, especially Facebook. Instagram's a little different. Um, but especially Facebook, just because there's so much hatred out there and
Yeah.
ignorance. People are just can be stupid sometimes.
Hmm.
So, um, and I think with my age too, like I'm just tired of it. I'm over it. As I get older, just
I
like
think the
you're
most time I spend
so
is like
stupid.
posting for Elliot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if he doesn't post, then I'll get messages. So I try to avoid the. I didn't post, or he
he
didn't
doesn't
post for.
post.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he didn't post. Actually, it's funny because I had to tell a friend, like, you realize he's not actually writing these articles, like these stories, right? Like you do know that, right?
Wait, he's
Like,
not?
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm his PR agent, I guess.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he didn't post for the holidays because life was busy, and man, I had to get caught up. So yeah, he's got quite the following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are great. I don't even get to read as many as you post because I really same thing, Lori. I have to, in all honesty, I would delete all my accounts if my kids weren't on them. It's they post like the animal. My son, rescued a sloth and they had to help him get to a different place. Or life in Costa Rica. My other kids are one's in Arkansas now, one's in Tennessee. It's like I get to see my grandkids and my kids. If they weren't on there, uh, I would delete all of it, but I don't. And so if I post, I even have to say, you probably should go and look and make sure nobody's asking you questions on certain posts, because then I forget to go and re-engage because I have to be honest, I don't care. And I feel like sometimes I think it is our age.
Yeah.
Because you get to this point, remember when you were younger and you're like, oh yeah, grandma doesn't care. She just says whatever she feels. I feel like we're getting to that age where I used to laugh and be like, she really just said that. And
Yeah.
now my husband and I will joke and he's like, yeah, I just kind of don't care. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
well,
Which
and
is
one of the
go
reasons I stopped posting, not only for being busy, but he was getting a few likes here and there, and I'm like, oh, people aren't reading them. No, they are. They're just not liking them or not. So I just make sure that he posts. So
There's also the flip side though that I get challenged by because it's like, well, don't do it for anybody else. Create the canvas basically. Just create what you want to see,
yeah, sure.
right? And
Yeah.
sometimes I even have to say, yeah, but I don't care.
yeah.
So I get challenged by both sides because I don't think that social media itself is bad. I just think there's just so much, it's exhausting, just
It is.
everything
Yeah.
that's out there.
Yeah, agreed. But I also know that just during like some tough times in my life, my network of friends across the country and around the world that I only see on social media were there for me at a very difficult time. And I don't mean there for me like sitting in my living room, like just sending
Or
messages
showering.
back and forth and encouraging each other. And they were unnecessary when I was dealing with some tough stuff. So, um, which is why I also look at, like you said, social media isn't bad. It's just used horribly sometimes.
Hmm.
But I can be the presence that I would want to see when I go to social media
Yeah.
by sharing something encouraging or something silly or something funny. And so, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it doesn't all have to be bad, but it does get a bad rap.
Yeah. And I think I think there's this whole cycle though. because I've gone through this, I even vent my frustrations to my media teams. I'm like, oh, sometimes I just don't care. Then other times I'm like, it's not that it's bad. It's just there's some really good stuff out there. But there's that whole cycle of like, okay, well, if you're going to be on social media, um, you should be posting every day, or yeah, you should be posting consistently. So like, okay, they tell me that I'm supposed to be posting, and you go through the whole cycle of what they tell you to do if you're going to be on social media. And then at some point you just have to, I feel like for me, I have to throw it all out the window and just go, what do you want to do? Just go do that.
Yeah.
And not care.
Yeah.
But
For businesses, it's a little different than it is for just me as a person on my own personal social media page. But yeah. But at some point, yes. Every day doesn't work for me, so I'm going to do it as often as feels comfortable.
yeah.
Or hire a social media manager to do it for your business.
Do you guys have a favorite social media platform that you like? Personally, I don't mean to take work out of it.
For me, Facebook, just because it took me a long time to get on Facebook, but because I had a lot of family, I have a lot of family overseas, so it was nice to connect them that way. So Instagram, I kind of had to learn because it actually went back to Piper when she was having surgeries, and her team was like, "Oh, she should be on Instagram." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I need that." Sure. And then Becca from Becca Makes Buttons said, "We're just gonna make you an account." And so she grabbed my phone, made an account, and handed it to me. And I'm like, and it used to be, I wonder where I could be, because I would go places, take a picture, and say, I wonder, have people guess. And then of course now I had to add the doodle on there. But I prefer Facebook. It's just easy. I can go in and take a look and leave. Um, Instagram, I don't know. I think Instagram is more for the younger crowd, or TikTok. Elliot has a TikTok account. I don't. I don't post anything. Elliot posts his stuff on Instagram or TikTok.
But do you feel like Facebook is your favorite because it truly is you've done them all and that's your favorite, or is it
Yeah,
because that's the one you learned and it's the one you know the best, and so that
I think it's a combination of the two.
yeah.
But Facebook changes all the time, and what cracks me up is people that post on Facebook that they're frustrated with Facebook, or sometimes there's posts about, there's too much going on Facebook. I just hate it, and I'm like, but you're here. Or my pet peeve about Facebook is that somebody will post something, and then it requires other people to ask, "Are you okay?" or "What's going on?" "Oh, I don't want to talk about it."
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, you just posted it on
So
social media. If you
that's
did
why
not want to talk about it, don't
that's what I
post
call
anything.
vague book. Vague book.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 When I see those posts, I don't even respond,
Yeah.
because
Just asking
it's
for
clickbait.
attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Laura, do you
So.
have a favorite? Because you use all of them for a variety of different things, right? For work and stuff.
I have ones. So for businesses, I will always recommend what's your um suggested demographic of a client or clients that you're trying to get. And then because of demographics on various platforms, then I'll recommend we should go heavy on Instagram and then share every now and then on Facebook, because it's easy just to share. But personally, I like the interaction that I get on Facebook because it's more friends, and on Instagram, it's probably a tenth of the interaction that I get on Facebook, even though it could be the exact same post with some of the same followers. So I don't, I think it feels a little bit more authentic on Facebook, and I don't
Interesting.
understand why, but it could be the algorithm and the different people, or because you can use Facebook on your computer, and right now a lot of people have said I've completely removed every social media platform from my phone,
Oh,
so I'm only ever on the computer. Instagram is much more difficult to use. You can't, I don't think, unless Instagram changed something in the last couple of weeks, I don't think you can even post on Instagram from a PC. It's all on a phone. Unless you're doing it through the Meta
yeah.
suite, the Meta business suite, and then you're just scheduling and sharing.
It's a little bit more
Which,
inconvenient.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't use it on my PC. I just have it on my phone.
Yeah.
But I have it muted, so there's certain times it just won't
mhm,
interact, because
mhm.
go back to the clickbait, and I snooze people sometimes,
Mhm.
or I unfollow people,
Yeah.
um, I have blocked a few people. Just
Mhm.
just depends on what they're, and if I feel it's inappropriate and doesn't align with something that I would want to read or see, I just
Yeah.
unfriend or block them.
Again,
Um,
healthy boundaries
yeah,
for
yeah, and I don't read like everything, and sometimes people are like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe this post?" And I'm like, scroll by, then don't read it, or
yeah.
read it and move on. Don't, now you're creating another issue by adding to it. You're just feeding the fuel. So I
Yeah.
don't tend to interact in those kinds of posts. I do appreciate Facebook because it's shown us that people don't know how to spell, so that's a good thing. So I
Uh-huh.
recently, there was somebody, one of our mutual friends actually posted something, and I was like, I mean, as much as I would like to make fun of you, I'm just going to clip it and send it to you, and you might want to change this. I will
You've
make
done
fun of
that
you
to
when I see
me.
you.
You've done that to me.
Yeah.
Because
And Lori said, "Well, perfect. Yeah,
I
I
type on my
wouldn't for Lori."
phone
So,
and then I'll fat finger something and I'll misspell a word and Jackie's not the only one that's done that to me. My mother does that to me too. You might want to go
I
fix the spelling on such and such.
guys,
Mhm.
if you're gonna be friends with me any longer, you're gonna get some. My kids will send me. Oh, for a while they used to send me a, huh? I was like, what didn't you understand? And I'll go back and read it, and I'll have to be like, oh,
oh,
Oh, oh.
and I was like, at some point I should probably, you know, go back and like reread it before I send it. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. The point of texting is just this quick little note, boom, send it. And they're like, but you didn't. It doesn't make sense. But I type it so fast. I'm like, I don't know how people with bigger fingers than me actually can do it. And it goes like, I don't know about you, but my um, O and I gets messed up all the time. I don't know how I
Or
always
the
hit
E
the
and the R.
E and
The
the
E and the
R.
R for me always, yeah.
Mhm. It's a pain.
Yeah.
And I just
Or
go,
the stupid spell check changes it to a word that's not even a word.
yep.
Or
well,
an
and sometimes I
inappropriate
tell like,
word.
yeah, absolutely. So sometimes I told Lori the other day, I said, I realize sometimes when I text message, whether it be Lori or another friend or whatever, I have thought out the sentence in my head, but it didn't translate to the phone. So they're like, what? And then I read, oh, I left
They
out
did
probably a key letter or word on there. But I
my
actually have
first
a friend. Yeah, I have a
thought.
friend that does social media, and he's horrible with typos. And I'm always getting on him. And he said, I actually do it because he gets so much reaction. I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty smart. So I don't really believe him, but that's what he goes with. And he does get a lot of reactions. So maybe there's something to it.
Did you mean to type that? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
So I actually have a question for Lori, asking
Hmm.
for a friend. Maybe you want to share the story of the ride along that you did?
Oh, I'd love to share which part of the story. The one that
Um,
where I ran into a friend at the intersection?
no, not that one.
Oh,
That
okay.
one's been shared. The story where it wasn't a scheduled ride along, but you went to
Oh,
Riverfront.
yeah, okay. So the one you always ask me to tell this story.
I
Um,
love this story.
so I was at the police department doing interviews, and there was like a 3-hour block of time where the morning interviews ended and we didn't have any more interviews until around 1:30 in the afternoon. And or maybe it was later. So um I knew briefing happened, I think, at noon, which means a new shift of officers were coming in and getting ready to hit the road. And so I just asked one of the officers that I was sitting in interviews with, hey, I could sit here in this room for a couple hours, or do you think it'd be okay if I did a ride along? And then whoever I'm with could just bring me back before the next appointment at whatever, 2 o'clock. Yeah, let's take you into briefing at noon and we'll see if someone could take you out. So it's like this time of year, it's the first beautiful day. Riverfront Park was full of people, and there was a call about a guy threatening to do horrible things to women in the park. And so it comes out over the radio inside the car, and there's the description of where he is in the park, what he's wearing, the color of clothes, the color of his backpack, etc. So I'm riding along with an officer who, as soon as we got in the car, I have to add this. She goes, "You know what they call riders?" it's called the death of a shift. Like you get a ride along in your car and it's the most boring shift ever because you're like the kiss of death on a police shift. Anyway, I was like, well, sorry about that. uh, but we we get to Riverfront Park, another officer joins us, and it was pretty warm. It was probably 80 degrees outside. I didn't really want to walk around with this officer looking for said threat in the park. So she goes, well, you can stay in the car or I'll park under a tree and you can get out of the car. But either way, I'm going to have to lock the door to the vehicle. I said, okay, I'll get out. I'll just enjoy this nice weather. So I'm standing next to the car I just got out of. There's another police car that pulled up right behind us. And the two officers go in opposite directions looking for the person. And then I see, as I'm standing next to the cop car, I see two park volunteers with yellow reflective vests riding their bikes directly towards the police car. And I'm standing there. And they're both pointing in a certain direction of where they saw the threat go. And I look over and sure enough, that guy is walking towards or out of the park. But the officers are now in other areas of the park, complete other
Gosh.
areas. And I don't have the phone number of the police officer that I'm with. I was like, now what do I do? So so I called on some old movie buff history. Anyway, I went caw really loud, standing next to the car, and the officer doesn't flinch. And I did it again, louder, caw. She's walking away from me. She stops in her tracks, like, please tell me that's not my ride along. And I did it a third time. And again, she stopped and her back is to me. And I did it again. Caw! And her head just dropped and she went, ugh. She's probably 50 yards away from me at this point. She turns around and I'm waving at her.
Oh
I
my
did it
gosh.
again so she would know it was me. And I pointed towards whatever direction the guy was walking in. And she's like, thanks.
Now zip it.
They hightailed him out of the park, but yeah. So
Oh, that's right.
throwing it back to so I wasn't the death of her shift.
Yeah.
She gets back in the car and she goes, best ride along ever.
Did they give you like honorary badge and
No, I didn't get one of those. It's all right.
Yeah, she just gets to
But
tell the story.
I just
Yeah.
get to tell the story over and over
Yep.
again. Yeah.
Yep.
wow.
Mhm.
Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The first time she
Jackie,
told me the story, I just about died laughing because I could just totally picture her, and I picture the officer going, "That's my ride along."
Yeah.
that's my ride along.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just keep walking.
Jackie, would you like to tell the story about one of my ride-alongs? Because
no,
I've told it
I-
from my perspective many times, but I've never heard your version of it.
My version is not very clean, but I can tell it. I'm
Okay.
innocently driving along with my mom in the vehicle, and I see a police car on my left. So I always do the correct
Okay.
position on the
10
steering
and
wheel.
2. 10 and 2.
Lori says I'm like,
White knuckling.
it, but I'm not. No,
She's nervous.
I'm just like, oh, okay. Because I tend to, every time I leave wherever I'm at, there's a police officer that drives by or is behind me or in front of me or something.
She's always
Anyway,
being followed.
yes. So I'm like, my luck. And then I see the car out of the corner of my eye because I don't want to turn and look, inching closer. And then they beep the horn or something. I'm sitting there like, and there's Lori with
In
the
the
window
passenger
down.
seat.
Yep. But then I was like, oh, of course, I should have known. And that's my other thing. Like, please, God, do not let me get pulled over with Lori in the car
Right.
because I will never hear the end of it. But as they drive away, because they were turning and I was going straight, as they drive away, she texts me, did you get a picture? No, I'm driving and there's a police officer you're sitting next to. So no, I did not get a picture as much as I wanted to. So that's my clean version of what
What a friend.
happened.
My version
Yeah.
of the story is a lot funnier, but we'll just leave it at that.
It's not funnier. It's quite boring, actually.
Mm.
She likes to, every time she tells it, she adds some flair to it. I don't know.
It's better every time.
It's
Mhm.
better every time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Some
And
days I'm
and
like, was I even that in the car? Like, that didn't happen, but okay.
as our vehicle was pulling up, I realized whose car we were going to be parked next to at a red light. And I said to the officer, and I don't think he would have actually honked if he didn't know me well enough. So I was like, "Hey, honk the horn." And he's like, "Okay."
It was
And
not, bruh. It was not. It was
what did he
lean
do?
in, like, it was like conviction. I'm gonna scare the poop out of this person. That's what it was.
I'm rolling down the window and she's slowly turning her head. And I'm
Word.
doing the wave. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he has no idea who the officer had no idea who she was and why I was saying roll down, honk, and I'm going to roll down the
Yeah.
window. So we went to drive away and I said, she serves on the board with of the Salem Police Foundation with me. He's like, ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Then I filled him in about why she was white knuckling the steering wheel and the look on her
Very
face
good.
every time I
I
say
would
that.
not say white knuckling it, but
Well, you didn't have a phone in
Okay,
your
you were
hand.
just 10 and 2.
I
You were
did
just
not
10
have,
and 2.
yeah. I was,
Yeah.
10 2 prepared. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
So I put the gun away and everything. It was, you couldn't see it, the white powder was away, nothing. Just kidding, people. Just kidding.
Not our Jackie.
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
It's
Nope.
funny. Yeah.
I'm as
So yeah,
innocent as they come.
the caca story has been told dozens and dozens of times in the
Yeah.
last 5 years.
It's been that long, really?
I feel like
Yeah,
now when I see, maybe
4
just at the
years.
next women's event, I'm just gonna stand and just do that.
Caca.
Caw-caw.
Yeah.
We'll just
Well,
start
So
a
we
my
need
thread.
so
greeters.
my brother and I used to do that when he was renting a room for me. We'd go grocery shopping together, and that was our signal to each other from aisles away in the grocery store that I'm done and I'm going to be up at the front. I'm going to go check out and I'll wait up front for you. So I would yell caca, and he would answer back that he heard me, and he would from the other side of the store caca.
So this is
Yeah.
just your call.
No, this is well, I mean, I kind of adopted it from the movie from what, the late 90s. What's the name of that movie? I always forget the name of the
Caca.
movie. Anyway,
I don't know,
yeah,
but actually, our next
it's a Steve
greeters,
Martin movie.
that's how I'm gonna,
There you go.
when we do chamber introductions, and that's how I'm gonna call out you out.
Sounds
One
good.
thing I do love about when we do the chamber introductions, I absolutely love teasing Lori and have embarrassed her multiple times.
It's the best one.
But one time, well, the best one is actually the worst one too, because it backfired on me. We were having this conversation about friendship and all this stuff, and it carried over. So I told her, "If you're, are you a greeters tomorrow?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll be at greeters." I'm like, "Okay." So we were at the rec. We're doing introductions, and I'm like, Lori Haraldsen, where are you? Stand up. So she stands up, and I'm like, Lori, I love you, which was great. She was embarrassed. I had my moment,
And I was
and
like,
as
what?
yeah,
Where did this come
yeah,
from?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I get back to my seat, and my phone has multiple messages. And before I could leave, multiple people. You didn't tell me you love me.
You've never told me you love me. Yeah.
So I said, okay, so every week I'll just call somebody and say, I love you. And then later I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So, but yeah, I've embarrassed Lori. It's a good, what, half a dozen times?
Yeah.
I mean, what are friends for?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
enjoy the shade of pink that she turns.
Yeah, because
when I-
us Norwegians, we immediately turn red at any sign of embarrassment or
Yep.
shame, or it's hard to hide it because, yeah.
uh,
So it was from the Three Amigos movie.
oh, that's
That's
right.
where
Yep.
the
See.
caca came from.
Yep.
Yeah, Three
Mm.
Amigos.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
Well, now if we hear, we'll know you're calling us.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
One of us is
Yeah.
calling you.
Mhm.
We'll go the other way. It's okay.
Uh-huh.
My second favorite one is, and I don't even remember how it came to be, but Jackie Roche was talking for an extended period of time at greeters when we were doing introductions, And so I grabbed the microphone and I'm like, Lori, where are you? And so I'm walking. It was at Northern Lights. So I'm walking towards Lori. And then I get close to her. As I get close to her, I hear go, uh-oh, what is she gonna say? I don't even remember what I said, but
She's
yeah.
coming towards me again.
Yeah. With the microphone. What's
Oh
going on
no.
here?
Oh no.
Actually, she was my vice chair. I would have been chair for greeters and she was gonna come in as my vice chair, but then I had to resign and then work for the chamber, so I can't be staff and that. So she got a early,
I was
yeah,
thrown into the fire.
thrown into the fire.
Yes.
And the funny thing was the day that we made the announcement that I was my last greeters as chair and that she was going to take over the chair position. We hadn't officially switched over yet. We were dressed the same. We had the same color shirt, same style, same
Good
everything. We're
memory.
like, yeah,
Passing the baton.
yep. So it's like, was not planned.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, yep,
It's
yep.
awesome.
Funny
Good
thing,
times.
and I don't always share this story because this has gotten me in trouble, but when somebody makes an impact, I know when I met them. I could tell you exactly the moment that I met that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sharing this story with somebody, and somebody else in the same group went, "You remember when you met me?" Not going to share that story again. So yes, I remember the moment I met both of you.
Yeah. Same.
So
I do
mhm,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. Actually, I remember seeing you at, you had, it was a thumb or your pointer. You had one of your hands or something was in like a splint or
Bandaged.
something,
Uh-huh.
Jackie.
Yep.
And we were at the newcomers lunch thing that
Hmm.
the chamber does. And I felt very drawn to you. I was like, I don't know, I like her. And then
What was great was we had emailed and connected, and we had made a appointment to have coffee together.
yeah.
And Tom comes running in. I met somebody. You have to get. Oh, you got to meet this person. And I'm like, okay, because he does that every once in a while. And I'm like, just put it on my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the name and I kind of laughed and I went to him and I showed him my phone, like, actually, we already have
Yeah.
an appointment, so too late.
Yep. And our one meeting that should have been an hour turned into what,
Yeah,
like 3 or 4 hours.
3 or 4 hours. Yeah,
And I didn't want to go
it was good.
home. I went home to my husband. I was like, oh, I love her. I just feel like I've known her forever. And it was just great. And then Lori, you spoke at the women's chamber, the luncheon.
Uh,
Chamber of Businesswomen.
Your
yeah,
realness and tears. I was like, gotta have coffee with her. Love her
yeah.
already, and I don't even know her.
And our hour-long conversation or meeting turned into almost 2.5, I think. So yeah. And I cried again.
Yep.
And on past podcasts here with you, I've cried on every single one of them.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Friends do that.
Lori's the crier from both of us. She's the crier.
Yes.
Yep.
Good. I just like the authenticity.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, and it was funny too with like Dina. She had called me and we were gonna have lunch. It was a Saturday, so she's like, I have an appointment, so hard deadline at 2. I'm like, oh, that works for me. I had the whole day free, so I'll go have lunch with you. We'll go do something else. We went to Adobe at 3:30. I'm like, Dina, you you said you had a hard stop at 2. I know, I know. So about 4:15, I think is what it was. She's like, oh, I really gotta go. I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because we met at noon.
Yeah. It's just awesome. Those meetings
But
are
those are the
awesome.
best.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the best meetings because there's also meetings that I'm like,
When
look
is
at the
this over?
time. Yeah.
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 Let's
Sure.
circle
Not
back.
very often. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Not very often, but I've had some of those. But usually they're when they're scheduled for me. If I have a meeting that's scheduled for me, it's like, oh, I had a million other things to do, but okay, I'm not gonna tell the person no. But or the sometimes somebody will reach out and want to have a meeting, and so we'll schedule coffee, and they just sit there, and I'm like, okay, why? Like we're just drinking coffee, staring at each other.
Yeah.
Why did you want to meet? Those are tough. Those are
Yep.
tough.
Mm.
So, because they're already disengaged. And for me, like, if you're picking up your phone and playing on, like for Green Chair,
Yeah.
actually, I have asked that if you're going to participate, you're not on your phone. I had a Green Chair one, and there was somebody that attended, and they were on their phone the entire time. And so I sidebarred them and said, you're welcome to come back, but you need to leave your device, because this is really for us to engage and interact. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're on your phone, you're being disrespectful, not just to me, but to everybody there that's sharing, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not all in, so we're not
Okay, so asking,
invited.
yeah, asking
Yeah,
for a friend.
yeah,
When you are with somebody and they hop on their phone and you could tell they're pulled into something else. It's not just
yeah.
like, oh, something caught my attention, okay, back. They get pulled into something. Do you find that disrespectful or does that not bother you?
Um, it depends. Sometimes I do. I find it I find it disrespectful. What I find disrespectful the most is when people are late. I get the one off, I get things happen, but
Mm-hmm.
when you're late, I have things to do. My time is valuable.
Yeah.
I try to respect people's time. I finished a podcast last week with Arthur, and they do rapid fire questions at the end.
Yep.
And so one of the questions was, what's your excuse, or what is the excuse that you use when you're late? And I'm like, if I'm late, people need to come find me because something happened to me. Um, I've been late, of course, things happen, but rule of thumb, I'm usually there. Actually, Lori is, when I get there before Lori, like today, when I was there on the, because I'm like, oh, Lori's on this. I better get on because she's probably already there. Um, and actually, a friend, a mutual friend, I stopped meeting with her because she was chronically late for everything. And I'm like, I just can't. Or I would say, okay, we had an hour set aside and you showed up 20 minutes late. Now we only have 40 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? I just got here. Right. But my time was. And
Sure.
so they said, thank you for calling me out, because I'm trying to be better about being late. I mean, it's just one of those things, we're all so busy, and to take time out means a lot.
Yeah.
And so if you can't at least be respectful, or at least say it's just not going to work for me. I'd rather you cancel. It's not going to work for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to show up late. Now, if you show up like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. This happened. Okay. But some people just show up like, okay,
You're like,
I'll
I'm
be
hey,
late.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lord.
Then we'll circle back because
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Lori, how about you? Does it bother you when
Uh,
people get on their phones or you're like, good?
I am understanding that lives happen and people have kids and emergencies happen and whatnot. So it depends on how the person handles it. If it's a one-on-one meeting and they don't say, excuse me, my kid doesn't hardly ever call me, but she's called me 3 times now. I'm understanding of that. But if like I'll be leading a meeting and I see someone on their phone and not paying attention to the paperwork that was put together and passed around the table for everyone to look at, they're on their phone. I have been very close to asking people to leave said meeting because they're supposed to be there to fill a role in a meeting,
Mhm.
and they're checked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on how the person handles it, and it's a respect thing for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's the way I feel. The minute somebody's on the phone, like you can't multitask. You're not listening.
Mhm.
I'll
Mhm.
wait.
Yeah,
Unless it's the typical, not typical, but when somebody says exactly that, sorry. And I'll say this to people,
yeah,
sorry, my kid, I'm going to leave it here
yeah,
in case there's an emergency, just so you
yeah,
know, or
Mhm.
sorry, my kid doesn't ever call me, whatever. So
yeah.
I do get that. That doesn't bother me, but it's the random, just like, oh yeah. And then they pay, and then you're like, you're not even listening to
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And especially when I sit in meetings and I look around and I see people sitting on their phones, I get so like, I'll just I want to get up and walk out
Mhm.
because I'm like, we're wasting our time. We could just send out a memo if that was the way
Yeah,
we're going to handle it. It's
Yep.
yeah.
so disrespectful, in my opinion.
Yep.
This meeting
So
could
we
have been
had
an
a
email.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Tom, we have our staff meetings on Mondays, 8:30 to 9:30, and Tom sometimes is off on Mondays. And when he's out of town, usually quarterly, I'll buy lunch. So I'll close the office for about 2 hours and we'll just have lunch and hang out. But this time I wanted to buy breakfast. So I got everybody's order. I went and picked it up, and two of our team members are on their laptops. So I said, well, guys, I spent $100 on lunch or breakfast, and I actually had sent an email saying this is the criteria. So I bought breakfast,
Yep.
and I want to just talk about whatever non-work related because I want this to be our time. and the first person that does anything work related is going to pay me the $100 I just spent on breakfast. And both laptops went click
Love it.
immediately. So, but it was important for everybody to connect and just have a conversation and um, just laugh and be at work, but not be so serious because we're always on the go. We're always on deadlines. We're always doing stuff. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I did it more jokingly, but I appreciated that they're like, "Oh, yes, okay, I'm present now."
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
You got yeah, got their attention. Laura,
yeah.
do you get offended when people are late, or you kind of like chill about it?
One of my biggest pet peeves is when people are late.
Yeah.
Like, then what was the point of setting a time to get
Yeah.
together? Yeah.
Note to self: be late for next time I see Lori.
I tell you, that was my number one pet peeve. Like I hate my mom. I grew up with a mom who was always late. We joke with her like, you're going to be late to your own funeral because you are like notoriously. My aunt that they used to tell my mom, hey, dinner is at 2, knowing it's at 4 because she's not going to show up till 4. It was
That sounds like
terrible.
my family.
So I would get so mad. I'm like, because you feel like I'm ready. Now I have to wait around because you're not ready. And I've learned over the years that people see that differently.
Mhm.
I feel disrespected, but they're not doing it to disrespect me. And I've had several conversations with my mom, but it's more like, even just, I don't know, just anybody. It's one thing. I'd rather people go, hey, I'm running 10 minutes late. I'm like, all right, I could track with, keep me posted along the way. But when you just show up and you're like, oh, hey, hi,
Yeah.
oh, it's my time.
Yeah.
I could have used like I shut my computer to rush out to get there on time. I could have worked for another 10 minutes, or I could have been with my kids, or it drives me it makes me so mad.
Yep.
I've softened over the years. I mean, I used to really blow up. Now it still bothers
I
me, but I'm
still
a little bit
do.
more
I still do.
chill.
I still get pretty hot under the collar when, yeah, I'm busy. We all
Yeah.
are busy people.
Yep.
And if we're going to set a time, then do your part to get there on time.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I worked for Babies R Us, we had staff meetings on Tuesdays, and it was at 2 o'clock. So at 2:10, the door would close. So if you weren't in your seat at 2:10, and the reason for that is because sometimes we had changing of shifts at around 2 o'clock. So I gave them that time, but I asked them to set the time when it was convenient for everybody to meet. So we had several department heads and assistant managers and the like, and I would close the door, and so then I would expect a report of whatever happened, or if there was a task that needed to be done, nobody went to do it. Well, who wasn't here? They get to do that.
They get
So
assigned that job.
yeah, absolutely. So like I said, I mean, things are going to happen, obviously, but when it's a chronic thing, it really, to me, then don't make appointments.
Yeah.
Just say, I'll see you when I see you.
Mhm.
Circle back.
That's right.
But
I'll be in touch.
yeah,
Shoot me a message. Save
yeah,
us both time. Yeah.
yep.
All right. Give me another one. You have another one? We have another question.
Um,
Give
Jackie,
me,
do you have anything else?
I don't
We've
remember all
we've
the
kind
ones
of
I sent
hit
you.
give
we've
me
kind of
one.
hit on a lot. Let's see here. I think we should
How do
open
we,
it up for people who are watching this recording if they have
Yes.
asking for a friend questions that they would like us to answer in the future. Let's do that.
yeah.
My dear Abby.
Asking for a friend. When someone says, quick question, why is it never quick?
That was
Yeah.
one of mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't have an
Yeah.
answer for that. Because you know what? I've done that sometimes. You're like, it really is a quick question, but it could go for a long time. Sorry.
I don't really have an answer.
Well, here's the deal. If I'm going to ask a question, I'm a meat and potatoes kind of gal. So I don't do fluff like really. I hate
Yeah.
not that I hate small talk. I could do small talk, but it usually is, I like to keep it genuine. I don't want to waste time just doing fluff. So if I'm going to ask a question, there's potential it could go deep because I am meat and potatoes. If I want to
Follow-up
know, I want to know. Because
questions.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll always ask questions.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
this is
Part of our training when I worked in retail. I used to use Walmart for training. I said, they've read this vest that says, "How can I help you?" on the back, or it used to, as they walk away from you, they'll be that person. So for me, it's kind of to if I ask you how you're doing, I want to hear how you're doing. I have the time. I want to ask. If I know I'm not going to have the time to have that, I just say, hey, how's it, or hello. I make it very generic. But if I say, how's it going? How are you? How's life treating you? Whatever, then I'm invested. I want to hear. But it's sometimes, and people will do it to me, they'll come up and go, how's it going?
Oh,
And they walk away.
well, you know
I'm
what?
doing okay.
In Jersey, that's another way of saying hi. We'll just go, how you doing?
Mhm.
And that's another way of saying hi because most people don't care, but it's like, how you doing? Good, good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So culturally, East Coast is more
Yeah,
like that.
it is. Yeah, I was in Jersey for a little bit and it was kind of interesting. But also, like for me, it's like I don't want to ask if I don't really care because if I don't want to hear it, I don't want to be like, oh boy, you did have something going on. Hmm, okay.
Because
Now I'm
you'll
here
get
for,
those people who you really don't mean that, and then
yeah,
they tell you everything,
yeah,
and you're like,
yep,
I shouldn't have asked.
I
yeah,
didn't want to know all of
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This friend
TMI,
didn't want to
TMI.
know.
Yeah, yeah. Look at the time. Yeah, for sure. I know. Human behavior is quite interesting,
Hmm.
how things are perceived and said or whatever. Because sometimes too, when people are talking to you and they're like constantly doing this,
Yeah.
you know, now I know you're not invested.
Mhm.
So
Do you guys like to people watch?
I
yes,
I
love
feel like
people
people either
watching.
hate that or love that. I find
yeah,
it
I love it.
hilarious.
Yeah, especially because I was in airports quite a bit. That was one of my pastimes. Do people watch?
Why do you
Absolutely.
like it?
It's just interesting. Some of the things people say or do in public, like, do you realize you're in public?
Mhm.
Or some of the things that people actually wear, like, do you know other people can see you? Like, you're not the only one out here, but yeah. Or sometimes I was at the airport one time and I was waiting, and this little kid was just being rambunctious, and the parents were like, "You need to quit that," and very firm. And then they realized people are watching, and like their behavior changed. And I'm like, no, be firm, like own it. Don't change it. If you're not gonna do that in public, you should probably not do that in private either. So if you're gonna correct behavior, then correct behavior. Don't be like, oh yeah, now people are watching, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you continue to be a little firecracker because people are watching.
Yeah.
No.
Lori, why do you like to watch people?
I love people watching. So I think it goes way back to um, I worked for an investment company for 15 years, and one of my coworkers and I became super, super close friends. We're like inseparable. If you saw one of us, you saw both of us walking through the hall together. Then we ended up working together closely, and our offices were next door to each other. But we would always, almost 3 to 4 days a week, we'd go to lunch. And it was at the Mexican restaurant right next door. And we would make up stories about the people sitting across the bar from us, and like, I think they're having an affair with each other. What do you think? They're both acting timid and shy and whatever, but a little flirty. Do you think they're married, or do you think they're having an affair with each other? So we would make stories about the other people in the bar where we were eating lunch. And I don't know, I am amused. I'm easily amused by other people, and so I love especially at airports, like Jackie said, I love just watching people and picking up on personality and weird nuances of things, and just kind of giggle to myself or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, but one of my friends who also loves to people watch at the airport, every time one of us will be in an airport, because, and it all started with him asking me, you know what I love? I love coming back into Portland, and whatever airport that I'm at before I go back to Portland, I can pinpoint which people walking through the gate or the terminal are going back to Portland with me
Yes.
based on what they're wearing or their hair color or whatever.
Isn't that
So
funny? We do the same
so
thing.
now yeah, so now he and I text each other, or we'll send pictures back and forth to each other. You're never going to believe what city I'm in that I saw this before while I'm sitting here waiting for my flight back to Portland. So, yeah, just I don't I don't know where it came from other than just being an observant person too. I just love people watching.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
love to people watch it. My daughter and I went to uh down to the riverfront, on Easter. We made my husband and my other daughter had we bought them tickets to see Les Mis, and I bought it on for Christmas. So I didn't realize it was Easter that they were going. So they went there
Yeah.
for the evening. So my daughter and I went over to the riverfront. We made a picnic. We sat there and just watching people. And one of the favorite things I love about watching people is when they are so authentic to like just being in the moment with themselves or the people that they're with. And like, I love to watch people break out and dance, and they don't care. They are just feeling it, and they're terrible, but like, they're not trying to impress anybody. They're just like living
Yeah. Yeah.
to be themselves. Or when they sing, there was a guy sitting like kind of behind me over here, and I could kind of hear, but I couldn't. And he was kind of doing like this Tai Chi kind of thing. And he was singing at the top of his lungs. I don't know about you guys, but back before we had, where you could carry your music around in this little box, we had the big boom boxes, right? And they used to plug your little earphone and used to sing and like record yourself singing like your own little karaoke, and how terrible that sounded. Well, that's the way this guy sounded. And we were just giggling. It was just one of those, he didn't care. And as much as I could giggle at him, it just like my heart just goes, I just love this. He's so bad. And yet it's so good because he was just having a blast. I love that. Like I even love, I don't know, go to church, you hear somebody just belt it, and you're like, you don't even care. You're terrible. And this is awesome, Or
Yes.
you go to a dance and you're like, or gosh, when I used to go to the bars, you watch somebody, you're like, you are so bad. And they're the life of the party. And they don't care. That's my favorite.
Karaoke's fun for that. Yeah.
I would never do that. See, because I don't have that kind of voice to sing. And I'd be like, people would be like, it's really bad. There would be no, she feels great about it. It was like, that's
So
bad.
here's my karaoke tip that I learned in my karaoke days is you sit through the round of singers and you find the worst singer and you sign up to go right after that person.
Oh, yeah, because then you sound
Because
great.
correct. Yes. Uh-huh.
I don't know
At
if I
least
would be
better
able to
than the
do that.
person that sang right before you.
Well, you would hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys have good voices?
I
mean, I sing in my car.
Me too. I sound great in my car.
I sing
sound
in my
great in my car.
shower.
I
I used
do
to
that.
karaoke. I've got 5 or 6 of the same karaoke songs that I'll sing over and over again that I know I can sing decently, but I'm not the worst person in the room.
There you go.
So, yeah.
But that's so fun, though, to your point. So my friends that own Old Zen Bar, Michelle, I love Michelle, but her voice, it would make your ears bleed.
You better hope she
And her
doesn't watch
husband,
this.
and her husband Nate. I mean, he's got his voice is amazing, and it was funny because sometimes she would follow him, and we were like, oh, but she didn't care. She's like, you know what? I know I'm horrible, but that's okay. And I one day I'm like, hey, you should sing like Warren G. Regulate. I think that would be a good song for you. She killed it. She
Oh,
absolutely killed it. And I'm like, there you go. That's your
There's
jam.
your song.
She's like,
Yeah.
no. She wanted to sing like, the nice long Whitney Houston songs. And I'm like, oh man. But she had such a good time. She was up there dancing and singing and having a great time. So good for her.
yeah, but it's like some of those things, it's like, why do we hold back? Why don't,
Yeah.
I just love that. And I think it's because it's like, you are so authentic to who you are. We all have these things. Why do we hold back? I don't know. I think the older I get, the more I challenge myself into not do that. I'm still not there, but on certain things, I'm like, some things I do today I would have never done even 5 years ago. But like, we miss out on life, I think. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, you're right.
Agreed.
Those are the things I think
So-
about.
So I think the next time Lori will sing for us so we can hear one of her 5
Yeah.
songs.
No.
No?
We'll come up with some
That's fine.
songs.
Yeah.
So one of my favorites to sing was John Michael Montgomery's Sold. It's like an auctioneer speed of this song.
Okay.
So go onto YouTube and look it up. And I've got that whole song memorized because I've sung it so many times, and it's super fast and I can keep up with it, and it's in my right range. And the music starts and everyone's like, who's singing the auction song? And I get up there and I'm pretty decent at it. So
So our
But I'm
next
not gonna-
show, we're going to have to open you
No.
up with that.
Yeah.
Our
No.
opener is
That's the opener. Absolutely. I
Just
second
before
that.
the
song.
main event.
Yep. We
That's
have a motion.
awesome.
I second. It's a done deal.
All right, so as we close, I have asking for a friend. When you were back in high school, because we're all pretty similar in age, what was this? Give me your genre of music that you enjoyed.
Rock. Led Zeppelin. I've always loved Led Zeppelin. In fact, I was listening to Kashmir. I'm driving from Clackamas, and there's a speed trap in Wilsonville, right by Les Schwab. And so I always have it on cruise control every time because there's a speed trap. So I get pulled over, and I'm like, I'm listening to. All my friends know if they're in the car and Led Zeppelin comes on when we had radio. I have a Sirius XM now, but when we had radio, they're like, if you talk, I'm pulling over, and you're leaving the car. Anyway, so I get pulled over, and I'm like, my thing. Oh, I saw roll down the window, not like this, like that. And so he walks over, and I'm like, I'm listening to Led Zeppelin. He goes, what? I'm like, it's Led Zeppelin. He goes, what do you listen to? I'm like, Kashmir. He nods. He goes back, probably running my plates, comes back. And I know I'm going to get a ticket because I didn't even give him a chance. I already have my license ready, my registration, my insurance. And he's like, Kashmir, have a nice day. Okay, sounds good.
That is
And
awesome.
I turned it up even louder and drove off.
What's the lesson? If you get pulled over, just throw some Zeppelin on.
So Zeppelin, yeah. I love Led Zeppelin.
Actually,
All their songs.
Actually, we should really put right after this story is don't try this at home. Because
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't work
Right.
for somebody else.
Yeah, don't try this at home, absolutely. So yeah. What about you, Lori?
I don't know if I have a specific genre. I never have. Like, I'll go through seasons where I listen to the same music over and over again. But my range, what I like in music is everything from country to heavy metal to ballads. But in high school, I don't even know. I don't know.
You don't remember what you liked in high school? Like what was it, or were you just like whatever's on? Because like
Everything.
nowadays
I liked everything. I still like everything.
Okay.
Just
Opera?
yeah.
No.
No, not really opera or classical. I don't.
I like classical.
I'm not
I like
into that.
classical a lot. My favorite play is Phantom of the Opera. In fact, my tattoo on my arm is Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
Know all the songs. I just absolutely love Phantom of the Opera. But I
Wow.
mean, I go in different. Like right now, I'm Bad Bunny and I listen to Bad Bunny all the time, much to Tom walking by my office and I'm listening to Bad Bunny. But it just depends on the time. I like Christian music. I know I'm Jewish. Amy Grant. I actually went to see her at the Elsinore when she was here a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And then Keith Green.
Keith Green.
I
Wow.
love his music. It just speaks to me differently, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as music, I mean, like my go-to is Zeppelin, classic rock, that stuff. But it also goes in stages.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I listen to the same song over and over again.
Same.
And most of the songs I listen to, I know all the words. Actually, some of my favorite songs are rap songs. So I
Right. So we're
do a
about the
concert.
same age.
I do a concert in my car. Yeah.
Did you guys listen to Rob Bass when you were younger? Do you know who he is?
No.
You don't know
I
who Rob
don't.
Bass is? Oh my gosh, I used to
Uh-uh.
shake. My car used to shake playing that his stuff. It would just, my brother and I would just, it was so loud. I had the best speakers. It was just, it was great. Even
So
today, it'll
funny.
come on. It's like reminiscing. I could just sing all the words. It's like that or Stevie B. I mean, a lot of club
Yeah,
songs
Stevie
as
B.
we went.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have actually a great story about Stevie Nicks. So, I used to go to Santa Barbara quite a bit. I grew up in California, and
Okay.
we somehow we got on this train, and it was about they were doing a murder mystery event. It was a private event, and I don't even remember how, but like a few of us got on this train, and we were headed to Santa Barbara, and we were told you can only stay here, like you can't wander off, you can't go anywhere, like we'll get you on, but you can only be here. And we're like, okay. So we were playing Fleetwood Mac, and then I'm singing because a couple of us close friends, so we would sing. So I'm singing, and then somebody taps me on the shoulder. I'm like, just a minute, and I'm singing, and I'm singing. I turn around.
And it's Stevie Nicks.
I'm like, is that who I think? And they're like, oh, you killed her song. Oh my God, you murdered her song. And like, I'm so sorry. So yeah,
Mm,
yep. I've
yeah.
done the dumbest things in front of celebrities.
Wow.
Just dumbest things you can. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, more so than Star Wars. And Lego's finally on board and uh, bringing up another set here pretty soon. But I went to a convention and then the security guard happened to be a friend. So he's like, I can get you backstage. I'm like, what? Yes. So I met quite a few of the cast, but of course, Patrick Stewart, right? So I'm waiting for my friend. He's like, stay here. I'm going to go get you a badge. Don't move. And I'm just waiting. And I turn around and it's Patrick Stewart. And what do I say? Do you know who you are?
Do
He's
you
like,
know who you are?
yeah, he's like, yes, I know who I am. I'm starstruck, like, oh my God, it's Patrick Stewart. So, but I made a mistake. So I had two of his pictures and I asked if he could autograph them. And he said, because of contracts, he could only autograph one. He could personalize one. He can just write his, he could just do his signature on both or just personalize one. What do I want? And I'm like, oh, my friend, she loves Patrick Stewart. Okay, so he signed both, just his name. And I go back, I gave this to my friend as a gift. I'm super excited. And like a year and a half later, we're no longer friends. And I'm like, that was dumb.
Yeah.
I should have had him personalize it. So life lesson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
But I got to meet him, so and ask him if he knew who he was.
Yeah. That's funny.
So yeah. I was probably as red as a tomato, but hey.
That's good. Good stuff.
Yep. Because my
I
friend comes
listened.
back and I tell him what happened. He goes, you did what? Yeah. That was me. My claim to fame.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Lori?
I listened to a lot of Christian music when I was in high school. Growing up in a pastor's house, we were a lot of strict rules. Couldn't movies we couldn't go to, certain types of music we couldn't listen to, and so many of the so much of the music I would listen to back then, like I don't even remember the names of those bands. Right? They were on old cassette tapes
Yep.
that I can't even play anymore. So I don't remember a lot of that music.
Yeah. We grew up on, I mean, we did not grow up listening to Christian music at all. I grew up rock and roll. My dad, Led Zeppelin still comes on to this day on the radio. My husband will go, how's your dad? Because we grew up with Led Zeppelin and Journey and all the,
Mm-hmm.
That's
classic
funny.
rock stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
we also grew up in the 80s. So all the one-hit wonders, still to this day, we'll throw the 80s
Yep.
on the Alexa, and it's always fun.
Yep.
And what's
It's
fun is
funny.
watching your kids now get into those same songs.
Yep.
Most of my kids are all old souls, and so they get into the same ones. So it's kind of fun to do
Nice.
together. But yeah.
Last year for my birthday at the Salem Capitals, they pulled off a surprise party for me.
Oh,
And
how
one of my
cool.
surprises, one of my surprises was Dean Castronovo. So he was in the audience, and I'm like, oh my God, I think that's Dean Castronovo, because my roommate knows him and his family well. And I was like, dude, like, introduce me. And so I went and found him, and he's like, I gotta go. I'm supposed to meet somebody. Well, it was me.
Oh,
So I have
wow.
a pic. It was a pic. I have a picture of me and him, and I'm like, I didn't ask him if he knew who he was, but but I'm like,
Learned that
sitting, I
lesson.
was sitting across, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, they pulled up an awesome surprise, but that by far was the best part of it.
Yeah, that's way cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool, guys.
Yeah.
This was fun.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
Well, now we got to
I
go.
think next time we should tell some more like tell on ourselves stories.
Yeah.
Uh
I like the
yeah.
one that we talked about that you said, this only happens to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some of those.
Yeah.
Those kind
It
of
only
wild
happened to me.
stories.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because just stay tuned. There is a story that Lori will tell about getting chased by a homeless woman in a parking lot. So by far, I've replayed that story in my mind so many times. It's that great. It's just great.
It's a good one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the next thing you should talk about is bubble wrap. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Bubble wrap.
Or
Bubble
taser.
wrap.
Yeah.
To come. Or taser.
Yeah. We got
Yep.
good ones coming. So
Yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, for now, we're leaving it at that. And if you're listening and you want to drop a, hey, you should ask this on the next asking for a friend, drop it in and maybe we'll do it. But
Yeah, I
And
like
then maybe next time Dana will have a shirt.
you
it.
think?
Yes,
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
sure.
you should do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Cool. All right,
Right.
guys. Thanks for
Right.
listening. Thanks for joining you guys. Until next time.